I'm really like weirdly calm going into this one. I think I was more nervous my last one, just with all of my like own family circumstances that were going on and everything. This one I feel extremely prepared and just ready to go at this point. Yeah, just calm and ready.
Yeah, we had spoken about a month ago, and you were telling me how you kind of enjoyed the extra attention that's been thrown your way, obviously with the magnitude of the fight. Is it still the same, or are you getting tired of all the questions in the media?
I'm getting tired of repeated questions, but I mean, other than that, like it's welcomed. Honestly, I don't mind it too much.
Yeah. What would you say is the most repeated question?
How do you plan to stop a takedown? I'm like, with my arms? I don't know, like really good wrestling? I'm not sure.
So how do you plan to stop?
I'm just gonna do that.
Yeah.
Swing a little bit, you know.
Have you ran across Kayla this week?
Yeah. This week. No, not this week. We ran. Anytime we run into each other, though, it's friendly. Like, there's no bad blood between us or anything like that.
Yeah. And the expectations, obviously, Kayla's super dominant. I mean, you probably get this question a lot too. The odds are probably favoring her a lot. Is that extra motivation for you? How does that make you feel towards the challenge that you have ahead?
You know what? I'm not super concerned with the odds. I saw a really cool, my coach showed me a really cool quote like from a motivational video, and it's like the odds don't really matter once that cage door closes because anything can happen. So it's like, cool, the odds can say she's a huge favorite, but it only takes one punch.
Yeah. And do you feel like she almost has like all the pressure on, because obviously the expectations, and not forget that this is the last fight on her deal with PFL?
I think she has a lot of pressure, but I think I have my own pressure too. Like, it's not from like necessarily people watching from the outside, but people at my gym, my coaches, my family, they expect me to perform a certain way. So my own pressure's there as well.
You mentioned about the fact that you get a lot of the same questions again and again. What is something that you want people to know about you that is not being talked about or asked you?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I got 3 dogs. They're really cool. No, I don't know. Honestly, I'm really well prepared for this fight, and I'm really confident in myself and my training and my coaches. I'm excited to at least shock some people coming Wednesday.
You want to get Buster Douglas then?
What was that?
You want to get Buster Douglas then?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey Taylor, speak about shock. I believe I can say, speak for everybody, you shocked a lot of people. A lot of people were foreseeing Kayla and Larissa 3, and you just said, nah, I'm gonna come over in here and I'm gonna secure my spot. Like, you want to continue this train. What would it mean for you to pull off like the major upset and Kayla Harrison in front of
I think it would be really cool. I mean, like, in the sense that it would be something to be proud of, but I'm still super early in my career. Like, I'm literally 3-1 going into this, and I think I'm not entirely sure. I just think it would be cool to show my son one day, like, hey, you can take on giants and you can still win.
Speaking of giants, of course, you train in Extreme Couture, and you train with the giant himself,
Yeah.
Guardado. What was like? I don't know. Have you like spoken to him about going into a championship fight and like what's the mindset going into it?
Before my last fight, when I had like a ton of stuff going on, it was actually really cool. I remember there was a moment we were doing our Sicko Saturdays, which is where we do our conditioning, and he and I were sitting in the cage together, and I was telling him how scared I was and just like all the things that were going through my head, and he was like, hey, you don't know what she's going through too. She could be going through something worse, an injury, anything like that. He's like, you need to focus on you. You're strong. We know how strong you are. We know how good you are. You just need to perform. That's all you need to worry about. And it's like those words stick with me. Like, no matter what's going wrong, I just need to do what I'm good at.
How much does it help to be able to train with other women like Casey O'Neill and some of the other like really high level female players they have there?
Those are my girls, man. It's literally just like a bunch of knuckleheads all hanging out. Like, we're all a bunch of idiots and we're all trying to knock each other out all the time. It's super fun. Like, it's a lot of fun, honestly. But we elevate each other, Like, it's a strong women's team, and we're not there to just mess around. We're there to get better every time we're together.
In your opinion, what have other fighters lacked in facing Kayla that have been unable to beat her?
Have they lacked? I think they've lacked the correct mindset once they get in there. I think they get in there and they, you know, this is nothing personal towards them or anything, but I think that they all are very strong women going into the fight, and then as soon as that cage door closes, they forget their game plan. They're like, just don't get taken down, don't get taken down. Then they're taken down. Then they just stop reacting immediately. I'm not afraid of takedowns. I like to be on the ground. I know how to scramble. I know how to get off my back, and I know how to damage while doing all that stuff. So it's like, when it comes down to it, I'm gonna be trying to damage her the entire time.
Did you take that whole little engine that could come in more as a insult or a little playful dig, or do you take motivation from it?
Playful dig more than anything.
Yeah.
You know, she's a good talker. We all know she's a really good talker, and I think she didn't mean it like to get under my skin, honestly. But it was kind of like, okay, like I know how that story ends, and
Right.
the engine did, so I want to do it.
Taylor, you spoke about not really caring about the odds. Your mother is currently fighting against the odds right now. How does that inspire you coming into something that is minuscule in the big picture of things compared to that?
100%. Like it's all my motivation. Like this is nothing. This is, you know, there's tons of people out there fighting for their lives literally every day. When it comes down to this is just 25 minutes of my life, and it's just a hard push. And then I can go back to being a normal person after this and hang out with my family while my mom has to stay at a hospital. So I mean, like, I'm lucky. You know?
Thank you, and we live with you and your mom as well.
Thanks.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.
Actors to see your pleasure.